All right. This is going to be my first time ever doing this. This is going to be me ranking our draft that just happened last night, which is Murderer's Row. It is a 14-man league, 0.5 PPR keeper league. So if you keep a draft player in the 7th round and keep him till the end of your season on your roster, you can put him in your next line of coming to next year. So we had 10 people with keepers, which I'll break down the keeper and how Yahoo ranks them, and I'll break down the teams of non-keepers that I like and put them in their playoff seeds and so forth and so on. And these are going to be like friends of mine, so it's going to be biased ranking, but this is the honest truth of what I think per the rankings. And this is going to be a cappella, however you want to put it. I'm not reading a paper or nothing. This is just straight me going off what I see in their team. Let's dive into it here. So first up is my team, the Tua Sleazeball Rings. Okay. Started off, I'll read the lineup first, then I'll break into the draft order how it goes. Justin Fields is the quarterback, Tyreek Hill at wide receiver, Michael Pittman at wide receiver 2, Joe Mixon at running back 1, Jahmyr Gibbs RB2, Tyler Higbee at tight end. Kenneth Walker was my keeper in the 8th round. He's my flex. Jonathan Taylor on the bench, Marquise Brown on the bench, Devon Achane on the bench, Tua on the bench, Romeo Doubs on the bench, Isaiah Hodgins on the bench, and Kyler Murray in my IR, which you should put Kyler Murray in your IR. If you don't, he should not be sitting on your waiver wire. Greg Zuerlein, the kicker, Washington defense, and I picked up the New York Giants defense to play ahead for week 2 against the Arizona Cardinals. So let's go here. Draft results. Okay. Here we go. And I gave myself an A- for this draft. Yahoo also gave me an A-, say I'm going 10-4. I believe I will go 10-4, maybe higher, because the main thing that I preach, or the people I've been talking to in Twitter, whatever you want in the fantasy football world, tell you in a 14-man league, depth is the key to winning this league. Where did I start off here? Oh, okay, by team. Okay. All right. So I came out with the first pick at Tyreek Hill at 1.06, which is insane. He should never fall to 6 in any league, which literally saved my draft. I did not like the spot of having to pick between Bijan or Chubb or Diggs at that moment when Tyreek fell. It was an instant smash for me. Joe Mixon on the turn at 23. I like the 3-down value back. I like the O-line plus that they've had. Jahmyr Gibbs, the electric rookie, at round 334. At pick 4 was Justin Fields. I don't know how the hell he fell to me at pick 4. In every other league he's gone to, he's going like round 3, especially in real life drafts. People are jumping on him early. So at round 5, this is where I could have filled by a tight end or could have added a wide receiver 2 or more depth. But I went for the Jonathan Taylor 4-game suspension play to have 4 running backs, because 4 running backs is what won me the league last year. In round 6, I took Michael Pittman. I actually like having a wide receiver 1 with not much around him. You know, they have Josh Downs, they have Alex Pierce. That's not a lot of weapons. Jelani Woods just went down. I know they have a rookie QB, but I actually think Michael Pittman's value is a lot higher than other people do. In round 7, I came out with Marquise Brown, which is way undervalued at the 90th pick. And round 8 was my keeper, so Kenneth Walker. He was already locked in. I took Devon Achane as a keeper shot for next year. I took Tyler Higbee based on Cooper Kupp, who I don't even think will play this year, which I said in every tweet and everything I talk about, do not draft Cooper Kupp, and he might land on IR with the update today. I took Tua at 146. His ADP was 92. This is a 50-spot play at quarterback. At round 12, I took Romeo Doubs, who I actually like a lot this year. And the coaching staff says that he'll lead the Packers in targets or receptions. I don't know if that's going to happen with Christian Watson, but I do like Romeo Doubs. Round 13 was Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray, I literally drafted straight for the IR spot and a keeper shot of next year. In round 14, I played the week 1 game because I wanted the best defense matchup in week 1. Washington gets Arizona at home, which they should smash. In round 15, a guy I've already dropped, but I drafted him late just in case I want to grab him as a keeper next year, is Michael Mayer, the rookie tight end from Notre Dame for the Raiders. And in round 16, I grabbed Greg the Leg Zuerlein. I like having a kicker and a high-powered offense, and Aaron Rodgers' number always in field goal range. And Jets are going to be better than people think. I like him a lot. They do have a very tough schedule. Moving on to the team I think is going to get second. or not second, but finished second in rankings. This is going to be Hamlin's Vax card. Now, with this team, I probably should have put him 9-5, 8-6, but the starting lineup is so powerful that I made it 10-4. And Yahoo gave him the best draft grade. He gave him A or A plus. I don't know, A or A plus. I forget what it was. So his team reads Dak Prescott, Stephon Diggs, Deebo Samuel, Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, Kyle Pitts, Chris Olave. Right, that's a nasty starting lineup. But the bench, this is why I should have dropped him down, but I kept him up top just because the starting line's so good. The bench is Geno Smith, Greg Dulcich, Rashee Rice, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and Chuba Hubbard. Not the best bench you've ever seen for a 14-man league. Probably the worst in the league, which is why I should have dropped him down, but I'll leave him up there for now. Kickers, Evan McPherson, I like a lot. Philly defense, I like a lot. Should not be carrying two kickers. Should have a depth piece of a backup running back or something right here. I don't know why he has two kickers or two defenses when you have an elite defense like Philly. Both of these could be, running back handcuffs or something for injury that I would do, but at the moment he doesn't have that. Okay, let's go into the draft here. How do I keep messing this up? Okay. Draft results, teams. Here's how he started. Okay. He had Olave as a keeper in the 10th already. Okay. He started off with Stephon Diggs at 10. That's great value. He jumped about 30 spots, or Breece Hall is about 48, 49. He took him at 19, and I've had Breece Hall on all my do not drafts this year. I do not like running backs off ACL. And then he comes back in round 3 and grabs J.K. Dobbins, who's also another guy that I had on my don't draft list. But he does get a great matchup week 1 versus the Texans. He should pop off. But, those two are scary running backs already. Deebo Samuel, I like, great value in the 4th. Kyle Pitts, I almost took in the 5th, but I went for the long game in depth. Dak Prescott at 6. Not a bad, probably the right value. Philly defense at 7 was really early. Evan McPherson, kicker at 8, was really early. Geno Smith at 9, great backup value. I like Geno a lot. Chris Olave, the keeper in the 10th. Greg Dulcich, not even the tight end 1 right now. Rashee Rice, you don't know about him yet. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, the RB3 on the depth chart. Pittsburgh defense, Cordell Patterson, Brett Maher. The bottom of the draft was really, really bad for his team, but his starting lineup is so stacked that I keep him up top. Let's go to my number 3 team, the I Hate Cheney Team. I gave him a B+. I believe this team is a playoff lock. He will finish 9-5. Justin Herbert, DJ Moore, Chris Godwin, Nick Chubb, Ramondre Stevenson, Dallas Goedert, Javonte Williams. Great starting lineup. Depth pieces, Jahan Dotson, I like a lot. He has one good one there. Kendre Miller, I like a lot, but I don't know how it's going to play out. Rashad Bateman is always injury prone. Quentin Johnson is a great keeper. Jerome Ford, a nice handcuff. I don't even know if Nick Chubb went down, if Jerome Ford would actually be the full running back. He's so tiny. Luke Musgrave, great keeper option for the Packers. Will be tied in the 1. We'll see a lot of playing time. And Sean Tucker, the newly depth chart 2-piece to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers behind Rachaad White. Graham Gano is the kicker. Great kicker last year. Jacksonville week 1 matchup versus Indy with Anthony Richardson playing quarterback. Great matchup there too. I can never find this stuff. What do I go to? League draft. Bear with me here. Okay, here we go. All right, so what is it? Okay, starts off with Nick Chubb at 5, where I thought he should have taken Tyreek Hill, but you can't go wrong. Nick Chubb, I was going to take him or Tyreek pretty much, so I like Nick Chubb a ton. Ramondre Stevenson is that guy that I'm like, is he really top 20 value with the signing of Zeke? We don't know yet. I do think he'll still see 18 to 20 touches a game. I don't know how, competitive the Patriots will be to where I even think that, they're going to be in games he'll be playing at the end. That's a tough one for me. DJ Moore at 3rd round, I like a lot. Javonte Williams, I think in round 4 was kind of a reach, but he wanted the 3 running backs. Another guy off the ACL that's kind of always scary for me. Justin Herbert, amazing value in the 5th round. He should be way higher. Dallas Goedert, great round in the 6th. Jahan Dotson, great keeper option in the 7th. His keeper was Chris Godwin in the 8th, which I like Chris Godwin a lot too. Quentin Johnson now. In the ninth, if anything happens to Keenan or Mike Williams, which it always does, this is a great value pick. Kendre Miller, I've already talked about him. I like him a lot. Rashad Bateman was on my do not draft list this year. And then you have Jerome Ford, Luke Musgrave, Sean Tucker, the rest going on down. B plus 9-5 finish, playoff team locked 100% for Cheney. I'm going to head into the team that I have at 4, and that is Joe Byron. His team reads out as Lamar Jackson, Garrett Wilson, Van Jefferson, Khalil Herbert, DeAndre Swift, Cole Kmet, Deion Jackson at the moment because he's having injury problems from the draft. So his bench, he had a really nice draft in depth for a 14-man, which is exactly what you want. So Brandon Cooks on his bench, Terry McLaurin, another starter on his bench, Travis Kelce, the GOAT tight end on his bench, Jamal Williams on his bench, who could, mix in with Kendre Miller and Kamara, you never know. Mac Jones and Hunter Henry dart throws at the end. Again, should never have 2 kickers in fantasy. This should be a depth piece that you grab a backup running back right here. He has Tyler Bass, who's already one of the top kickers in the league. Jason Myers, also another good kicker on the Seattle offense that will move a lot in a tougher division, or not tougher schedule. I don't know. Great pick with the New Orleans Saints defense. Their first 6 games is the best run in the NFL. That's a great pick with the Saints D. All right, let's go here. by team. Okay, what I would have done here. Okay, Joe Byron. So Travis Kelce with the first pick, he took the plunge. You're probably going to lose 2 or 3 games, maybe be limited snaps, game 2, game 3. I don't know, but it's Travis Kelce. And he had Cole Kmet already as his keeper, so he couldn't afford that pick at the time, and he could wait till week 4 or 5. Travis Kelce is going to go off as soon as he comes back. That's a given. Garrett Wilson, one of my dark horse wide receiver 1 sleepers. I love him a ton this year. As you saw in the preseason game, Aaron Rodgers just straight targets this guy like the old 17 in Devonte. Pick 3, Lamar Jackson. Great value pick right here. A lot of people have Lamar Jackson winning the MVP this year. Pick 4, he stole from me, Khalil Herbert. He reached up really high, probably because he knows me and I've been talking up Khalil Herbert a lot. DeAndre Swift, I feel like he had to reach for because he was the running backs were going off the board like hotcakes. Like if you read into the 0 hero running back stuff, that never works unless it's a 10-man league. If you're drafting in real time with your boys or whatever, the running backs are gone by round 5 or 6. So, but DeAndre Swift, 4 Eagles running backs listed as a depth chart. I do not like DeAndre Swift that much this season. I think he's overvalued. He's like, if you played best ball, I like the home run hitter ability. There's like, I'd rather start like Samaje Perine this week. Like that's how much I don't like DeAndre Swift. At number 6, he got great value on Terry McLaurin because of the turf toe. They did say he practiced today, but most of the updates you're seeing is he's going to play limited, not be at full strength till about week 3. And turf toe lasts all season, so it usually hampers people all season. It's going to be tough for me to even like Terry McLaurin this year. I haven't drafted him in any league, but it could. But Jamal Williams in round 7, he turned back. Not a great keeper option because he's old, but 17 touchdowns last year. This guy could get it done. You just got to wait and see how it plays out with him. I want to see how the rotation breaks first. Now, Brandon Cooks. This was an amazing value pick right here. All this guy does is produce and get no credit. Now he's going to have his best quarterback he's ever played with. He's going to have CeeDee Lamb drawing doubles. Brandon Cooks may be finishing the top wide receiver 25-20 at the value of 101, which is amazing value. Saints D, I talked about it a lot. Cole Kmet was his kicker. Cole Kmet was his keeper. Tyler Bass, the kicker. Drafted another kicker right after. So I don't know what happened. Van Jefferson in the 13th. This is a great pick right now. Cooper Kupp might go on IR. I don't even know if the Rams were out of contention. Cooper Kupp may never even play this season. Are they going to play a vet down the stretch where the season's over? Are they going to trade him? What's going to happen? I tweeted, do not draft Cooper Kupp all year. And look what's happening. It is happening. At 14, Deion Jackson took the plunge with Jonathan Taylor being out. This could be a 3-man rotation, though. This could be Evan Holt. It could be Deion Jackson popping off. I have him in one league. It could be what's the other guy's name? Zach Moss. I don't know. The team's a down team, rookie quarterback. I don't really see much value in a rotational flex. 15th was Mac Jones. 16 was Hunter Henry. Not much to talk about there. Let's dive into the team that I think is going to be another playoff lock in 5th place. That is Devonte FFC. So he had Calvin Ridley as a keeper in the 16th round from last year, who I am so high on. I believe he will be a top 5 wide receiver. It is a bold prediction, but man, he looks damn good. So he has Aaron Rodgers, Devontae Adams, CeeDee Lamb, James Cook, Cam Akers, Sam Laporta, Brian Robertson, Jerry Jeudy. Great depth pieces for a 14-man league right here. So you don't see this in a lot of teams. So this is why I raised this team higher. OBJ also could be a dart throw play. Russell Wilson, great backup quarterback to have, especially when Jerry Jeudy comes back. Gus Edwards, great backup piece. Young Hoku, great kicker. The Miami defense, I would drop instantly, but you know, he has them right now. And here's how the draft went. Okay. Draft results. Boom. What is his? Okay, Devonte FFC. So he already had Calvin Ridley in the 16th round. So his goal was to target 2 elite wide receivers at the turn of each, which is one of the best values of being the last pick in a 14-man draft, or the 13th pick, which I think he was. So he hits 13 with Devontae Adams. Boom. I've been a little downer on Devontae Adams the most because I've been a Niner fan for so long. I know how Jimmy G plays quarterback. He still will get value. I just don't think it will be the same as last year or years before. His second pick, he turned back with CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb. Nothing else to say. He's superstar. Round 3 reached really high for James Cook, who's about at 60. Took him at 41. Could have found better running back value there, I definitely believe. But, you know, if you like a guy, you like a guy. Took Cam Akers at 44. A nice 3-down back piece, but also on a team that is crumbling, like I was talking about with Cooper Kupp. Do you really want a guy in a team where it's just not going well? You know, that's another tough decision. Brian Robinson, he took in round 5. I like a lot, especially in week 1. He should rumble over the Arizona Cardinals. 20-point minimum, I would call. 100 yards and a touchdown. Jerry Jeudy in round 6. I mean, with his injury update saying that he's starting to get light work and he may miss 3 weeks. So if you imagine that he got him in round 6 in a 14-man, in a 12-man, before he was injured, he was going about 40. So he got about 3-round value for probably missing 3 weeks. Depends on how good your team is, but I like his roster depth enough where that's a good value pick. Took Aaron Rodgers in the 7th. I thought that was way too early. I mean, if I got Tua in the 11th, Aaron Rodgers should have went in the 11th. Like, you know, so bad pick at 7. Could have found more depth for the team 100%. Could have picked up another running back, which I would have done because he's running 3 pretty much. You know, that's it. Jerick McKinnon, I don't think he has the same year as last year. The coach lost trust in Isaiah Pacheco going down the stretch. I mean, it doesn't happen again, maybe. He's such a scat back. I don't know. I'm 50-50 on him. Sam Laporta, I love the tight end pick, especially with Jameson Williams out 6 weeks. It's always hard to start a rookie tight end and hope that they're going to produce. But with the way the Lions move the ball and Jared Goff has dialed into this offense, I think Laporta will actually see value as a rookie. I don't know how much he'll be touchdown dependent, but he's a nice value pick at 125, and it was a nice keeper option for next year. In round 10, OBJ, purple-haired, ready to roll. I do like the round 10 value here. It's definitely not a keeper option for sure because of his age. But, man, he's looked good in camp. If he can be anything or like 80% of what he was, with Todd Monken being the offensive coordinator now and this offense moving totally different, you could find value here in OBJ. It's could be like flexible play. I got to see like a couple weeks in, but not a bad pick here. Gus Edwards, one of the best handcuffs to me, in my opinion. People say that Justice Hill is taking the running back 2 job. That's not happening. With J.K. Dobbins' injury history of missing 27 games in 3 years, same ACL that he's torn twice, getting rescoped last year. you got to be afraid with J.K. Dobbins no matter what. So Gus Edwards, great pick. Young Ho Koo, great kicker pick. Miami D should be washed. Russell Wilson, great backup. Curtis Samuel was a dart throw at the end. I mean, not much to talk about there. Now let's break into the playoff contested close teams. I gave Devonte a B overall grade, saying he would finish 8-6. Okay, next team up is Guy Power is back. I gave him a 7-7 record in a 14-man league. 8 teams make the playoffs, 6 teams don't. So I put him as on the cusp with these next 6 teams or 7 teams that are going to be fighting for that playoff spot come playoff time. Josh Allen, quarterback Jalen Waddle, Brandon Ayuk, Bijan Robinson, Raheem Mostert, Darren Waller, Drake London was his keeper in round 8. Jordan Addison, Anthony Richardson, Zeke, Tyjae Spears, Roshan Mingo, and Ty Chandler. Greg Joseph as the kicker, and Denver Broncos as the defense. Great week 1 play. How come I have to go here for this to drop down? Okay. Okay, so he was pick 8. He had Drake London as his 8th round keeper. Pick 8, Bijan Robinson fell to 8, which is amazing value in round 8. I mean, I've seen this guy go 3, 4, 5, and 4 in my draft, so solid value there. You can't go wrong there. Jalen Waddle at number 2. I know him so well. I thought it was a weird pick for him, but it's a great fucking pick. Jalen Waddle is going to have an amazing year. Wide receiver 2 that puts up wide receiver 1 numbers. And if anything happened to Tyreek Hill, this guy would be, electric across the board. 3rd round, he got amazing value at pick 36 with Josh Allen. He should have been gone like 28, 29. So he got about an 8-spot bump there. He jumped up, I think, a little bit for Darren Waller. I think Waller was at like 61, 59. Got him at 49, but nothing wrong with that. I think Waller sees over 100 targets this year from what I saw in the preseason, and the hype on him is through the roof. Brandon Ayuk, he got in the 5th round, which was a great value pick. Ayuk was like 42 or 43 overall, got him at 64. For some reason, he kept falling down that board as the round was going on. I was like, how long is this guy going to fall? Great value there. Jordan Addison, he jumped up for a ton. I think he jumped up like 20 spots for Jordan Addison. Could be worth the value. But with the way this team is constructed, I would have taken a running back here because you already have your wide receiver depth kind of set with Ayuk and Waddle, and you went to Addison. I see why, but it didn't help you keeper-wise. I feel like that was a bad move made. Round 7 took the shot on 31-year-old Raheem Mostert. No. And the Miami's offensive line is shot to absolute shit. I mean, they're ranked 22. They just lost their left tackle. Their right guard is hurt. I mean, I don't even think people are going to say to play him because the high scoring game week 1 versus the Chargers, and he might get volume with his injury history. I don't like that pick. Round 8 was Drake London, the keeper. I love him a lot this year. Round 9, Anthony Richardson, another previous keeper that could happen next year. That's a wait and see on him. I'm not really a fan at the moment. Round 10, grabbed a nice running back depth piece in Ezekiel Elliott. I mean, he could pop a goal line TD in any game here and there. If you need to put him in at running back, you don't have anybody on the wire, and the wire is absolutely shot in a 14-man league. It's terrible right now. Tyjae Spears, one of my favorite backup pickups. Roshan Johnson, he took 2 guys before me in the draft. I was literally talking to my buddy right here as we're drafting. I was so mad. I want Roshan Johnson really bad. Could be a great keeper next year. Jonathan Mingo, another rookie, be a great keeper option next year. Ty Chandler, the backup to Alexander Madison, who's small. They did add Myles Gaskin, so I don't even know if Ty Chandler, say Alexander Madison went down, right? Would Ty Chandler even be the guy, or would it be a rotation? He's not like a true handcuff to me, but it's a nice pick. Denver D and Greg Joseph, we know that already. So I'm putting him at 7-7. And I believe it was a 7-7 with a B- as a playoff in the hunt team. Coming into my next team, who I have here at 7-7, is going to be Jellyman. So Jellyman, to me, in our drafts, had the best draft for a team without a keeper. So in a 14-man league, having that keeper is already a huge advantage because you get, a higher ranked player at a lower value, like say Calvin Ridley in the 16th round, right? So he's going empty slate, and this is his draft. Jared Goff at quarterback, Keenan Allen wide receiver, Mike Evans wide receiver, Tony Pollard, Josh Jacobs, Dalton Schultz, Christian Kirk. Now his bench pieces are still Alexander Madison, Adam Thielen, Tyler Algier, Elijah Moore, Sam Howell, Josh Palmer. Great choices. Kicker, Cameron Dicker, great kicker. Accuracy last year was off the charts. Fast moving offense for the Chargers, great pick. Kansas City defense. He has the Atlanta and the Kansas City defense. Let me pull up this team's schedule. I don't even think I would roster this team. The defense, the Kansas City defense is not great. Detroit, Jacksonville, Chicago, Jets, Minnesota, out the gates. You can drop the Kansas City. Let's be honest. Now let's move into how the draft went here. God. Whenever you talk this much, my voice just goes out. Where is he at? So, no keeper. Pick 11, 14-man draft. Started off with Tony Pollard at 11. Turned back with Josh Jacobs at 18. Great value right there. Josh Jacobs would have been, I don't know, I'd say like 12 to 15 range if he didn't hold out and drop down the boards. Round 3, one of my favorite running back picks, Alexander Madison. I think he's hugely undervalued. I think if he takes a 3-down roll and runs with it, it'll be through the roof. I mean, Dalvin Cook had like 770 snaps last year. So if he can, do anything close to that, he'll be way above the value he's worth. 4th round, Keenan Allen stays healthy. One goddamn year, this got to be a wide receiver 1 draft pick. Great value in round 4. I mean, he used to go top 16, 17 over the years. Christian Kirk, I'm not as high on this year just because the Calvin Ridley edition, and I don't really think that Kirk plays X and Y. He'll play slot only. So I don't know if, say the Jags are running 2 sets, right? Christian Kirk's not on the field. It'll be Zay Jones on the outside. It'll be Ridley on the other side. When they run their 3 wide receiver sets, which will probably be 50, 60% of the game, he will be in there. But I think his value is way too high. I would draft him to like the 8th or 9th round if it was me. Round 6, he turned around and got Mike Evans, Mr. I'm going to get 10,000 straight yard seasons. I don't know if Baker Mayfield's going to do it. I always like Mike Evans. He's always safe play. He always has those blow-up games. Not a huge fan. I don't know. Not a bad pick. Not a great pick, in my opinion. In round 7, he went bonkers and took Adam Thielen at 95 when Adam Thielen would go about 140 to 150. I don't know what the thought process was there. I like Elijah Moore better than Adam Thielen. So, and he drafted Elijah Moore, 8 picks later in the 8th. I think Elijah Moore will be nice in the slot for the Browns. I think Amari Cooper will draw more attention and Njoku will draw more attention. Elijah Moore will slip a couple out. I don't know if he's like startable weekly, but he could have that pop-off week. In round 9, he stole one of the tight ends that I was targeting in Dalton Schultz. Literally, I believe like 3 picks before me, but I got Higbee out of it, so I like it. Dalton Schultz is so undervalued at this. It's ridiculous. They paid this guy $9 million. He's on a running back, tight end, high-end running back contract. Like, they're not going to use him. Why is he so low on draft boards? It doesn't make any sense to me. Rookie quarterbacks tend to target tight ends more. They're like their security blanket. The Texans will be probably playing from behind 90% of games. I think this is an amazing value pick at round 9. And Dalton Schultz. In round 10, he grabbed Tyler Algier, who could see, coming off 1,000 yards. They just get Bijan. Could see, I don't know, I'd say like 8 to 10 touches a game. Maybe if they're winning 15, but how many times are the Falcons going to be winning? If something happens to Bijan, yeah, it's a great value, but he's a true actual handcuff. But not bad for round 10. Got his starting QB Jared Goff in round 11, which is insane value at 151. I mean, if Geno Smith went 122, what the hell is Jared Goff going 151 for? That's solid value at quarterback. The KC defense, he could drop. You got Sam Howell at 186, who I really actually like as a keeper value. I want to see how he looks first, but I like him a lot. The kicker, Cameron Dicker, Joshua Palmer, Jaden Reed. We could talk about that a different time. 7-7 playoff hunt team, B- draft grade for the Jellyman. Moving on to the Fry Guy. So Fry Guy's keeper was Deshaun Watson in round 15. That's his quarterback. Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, Christian McCaffrey, Travis Etienne, Chig, Damian Pierce, Jordan Love, AJ Dillon, Jay Season, Michael Thomas, Juju Singletary, McManus, Patriots D, Green Bay D. That's his roster at the moment. Let's dive into it real quick as a draft grade. Okay, so 2 mistakes that were made early, and he was literally sitting right behind me. Christian McCaffrey, of course, great pick with number 1. Travis Etienne, which was freaking crazy to me that he fell to the 28th pick. That was insane value, but the mistake is both these guys are by week 9, okay? He grabbed Damian Pierce, who I really like as running back in round 3, but I hate their schedule. They just lost their left tackle offensive line. I mean, they played Baltimore week 1. He's probably benchable. Like, I wouldn't even start Damian Pierce week 1. Now here's another mistake that was made. Deontay Johnson and Christian Watson, these are back-to-back picks, right? So you see Christian McCaffrey, ETN, back-to-back, both round 9 buys. You see Deontay Johnson, Christian Watson, back-to-back picks, 4 and 5. Both round 6 buys, okay? Yeah, I like both receivers. I like Deontay Johnson's target worth. You know, he's going to see 140, 150 targets. Christian Watson, touchdown machine. I'd say around 90 to 100 targets, but yeah, he's great value, but you don't back-to-back buy pick. And then week 6, he grabs AJ Dillon, another Packer, another week 6 buy. So those are things you got to think about when you're drafting, especially in a competitive league like this. Like, you cannot make those minimum mistakes, but could overcome with the wire or trades or something. But he's going to be in a lot of trouble week 6 and week 9. That's pretty much 2 losses, pretty much. Pick 7, he got one of my favorite keepers in the draft in Jay Season, who just made it back week 1 already from his hand injury. I don't believe it. It's crazy. The only problem with him is he's in the trio of the Seattle Seahawks with DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett. I mean, I wish just like he was in his own, like, put him on the Texans by himself and let this guy just go nuts. But you're going to have to wait for that. In round 8, he took the shot on Michael Thomas, who I was targeting at this exact spot. He grabbed it like 5 spots before me, which is, I think Michael Thomas finally has his comeback tour this season. In round 9, he got Chig, great keeper option for tight end. I actually think he's one of the better values at tight end at this spot, especially with his routes per yard run last season in 22 being number 1 over Travis Kelce, which is insanity. In round 10, took the shot on Juju with the knee. He could be their possession leading receiver. He's still young. It could be good value. Could be a plug and play flex play. I'm not really a Juju fan, but could work out. Round 11, Devin Singletary, so he backed up Damian Pierce. Nice little handcuff play. He is a true handcuff. Round 12, he's a Packers fan. He got Jordan Love to go with Christian Watson, get a little connection if anything happens. Deshaun Watson took 2 defenses and a kicker. I gave it a B-, 7-7 range for the Fry Guy team. Playoff hunt. Heading to the next team, Scarface, who has turned around his fantasy career the past 3 years and been a playoff contender, championship playoff contender for like the past 3 years. His roster starts out, his keeper was Miles Sanders in the 7th round. His roster goes as Joe Burrow, A.J. Brown, Amari Cooper, Derrick Henry, Antonio Gibson, Hawkinson at tight end, Sky Moore, Tank Bisbee, Darnell Mooney, Jalen Hyatt, Irv Smith, C.J. Stroud. Now, see, the reason I have this so low with a starting lineup that's actually very decent, and I do like Antonio Gibson more than like he was like, I auto-drafted him. He's actually not a bad play. But when I look at this bench, like, what would it take for you to start, in my mind, anyone on this bench? Maybe Sky Moore week 1 because, I'd move, Miles Sanders in, but Antonio Gibson's going to eat against the Cardinals, so no. But when is Sky Moore going to start? When is Darnell Mooney going to start? When is Hyatt going to start? When is Irv Smith going to start? Tank Bisbee's waiting for an injury, and when is C.J. Stroud going to start? That's like preaching about the depth of a 14-man league. This is why I have this team low. I do like the starting lineup, like I do, but I don't like the bench at all, and I don't think I'd start any of them, but maybe Sky Moore on like a dart throw. So, but let's dive into the draft and see what we could have changed here. Where's Scarface at? Okay, so pick 14. He gets the double pick at the end of the round. Hits 14 with A.J. Brown. Great value at 14. Derrick Henry at 15. Great value there. Should have looked for Tyjae Spears, especially when you draft Derrick Henry. Probably didn't think about that. I would have liked to have that handcuff. Round 3, one of my bullish wide receivers in Amari Cooper. I absolutely love Amari Cooper this year. Great pick here. Joe Burrow, round 4. Again, great value here. TJ Hawkinson at 70. Again, great value here. Antonio Gibson in round 6, another great value with how fast the running backs went in our league. Round 7 was his keeper of Miles Sanders. Round 8, Sky Moore. I mean, I guess it's about his range. Tank Bigsby at 126, a good backup value. Buffalo defense. I mean, I'm not high on taking the defense anything past the 15th or 16th. I think right here you could have got more value at running back or wide receiver. Something like if OBJ was here, like which it was, I would have taken that over a defense. Darnell Mooney, I'm not that high on at all at 154. Harrison Bucker, great kicker. You can't go wrong there with a kicker. Jalen Hyatt could be a breakout guy. I just got to wait and see. He's not really a possession receiver. He's, 40, 50-yard bomb speedster, just like college. Irv Smith is on most waiver wires, so I don't really wouldn't want that pick. CJ Stroud is on most waiver wires, and there's no need for 2 defenses. When you take a defense in the 10th round, you shouldn't be doubling up unless you're playing the week ahead. Like if you're looking for the Bengals playing the Cardinals week 2, but they don't. But that's an example. So I gave Scarface a B-, 7-7 team. I do like the starting lineup. I think the bottom of the draft is where he started to fall apart, but it's still decent. That's why I have him as playoff hunt. Moving on to the next team, La Flama Blanca. I love this name, bro. Kenny Powers. If you haven't watched it, you should watch it. He had his keeper as Rachaad White in the 13th round, which I was jealous of 100%. I love Rachaad White this season. His lineup reads Trevor Lawrence, Amon-Ra, D-Hop, Saquon Barkley, Rachaad White, the keeper, Mark Andrews, Zach Charbonnet, Gabe Davis, and Njoku. So this is good depth pieces right here, but, I mean, you don't really need 2 depth pieces at tight end when you have Mark Andrews. I mean, it could be trade bait if that's something you're thinking about. Zay Jones, I'll get into this. Zay Jones, Elijah Mitchell, Marvin Mims, Kenny Pickett, Evan Hull. All right, let's go here. Okay, so round 1 got Saquon at 9. Great value. Can't go wrong there. Round 2, he got Amon-Ra at 20, which is insane. I don't know how that happened. Amon-Ra should have been gone by like 14 or 15. I love the Sun God this year. Number 3, Mark Andrews, great value at tight end. He should never fall that far. In most drafts, he goes about 24, 25, or the round 2, round 3 turn. Round 4, DeAndre Hopkins, 48. I mean, if he didn't have DeAndre Hopkins, he would tell me, oh, he's on the Titans offense, but he drafted him. So he's, I got to wait and see. All DeAndre Hopkins does is produce every goddamn year. He's unguardable. His catch radius, his hands, everything is amazing. I have to see this offense play first before I see a round 4 value good enough for DeAndre Hopkins. In round 5, Duval's finest, Trevor Lawrence, great value. In round 6, so this is what I'm talking about here. This is that depth you need in a 14-man league. So in round 6, he goes Gabe Davis, right? When Gabe Davis is here in round 6, and I could look just across, let's go across the board here. Let's find someone close. Anyone? Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find them, but you already have 2-star wide receivers, and your running back is Saquon Barkley. This is where you should be trying to double up of another running back that is of value right here, which could have been like an Antonio Gibson, or could have been an Alvin Kamara with a 3-game suspension, or, I don't really like the 3-play. And then a Zach Charbonnet in round 7. Not a fan of that move that early, but he wanted his keeper option, which is, I get that. Round 8 was David Njoku. Great value for the spot that he's in, but again, not great value if you already have Mark Andrews. So that again is another thing that I would look at if I was drafting it. In round 9, Zay Jones. I have no fucking clue what was going on right here. We're gonna just let that one pass. 132, Elijah Mitchell. Great backup piece to have if he ever stays healthy. In round 11, Marvin Mims. Great keeper option, especially at 149. He might even become the wide receiver 1 with Jerry Jeudy out week 3. I'm not a fan of Cortland Sutton. I mean, Mims. I'm high on Mims. He is a superstar, man. He was so good in college. It was crazy. In round 12, Kenny Pickett, one of my favorite dart throws late for quarterbacks. I think he has a massive breakout year. I think the Steelers are coming, man. I think they're coming. I know they have a very tough schedule and they play in the AFC in the hardest division, but they're working their way on good direction. Rashad White, keeper in the 13th. Evan Hull, interesting pick here at the 14th. Depending on what happens with Jonathan Taylor, I mean, this guy's got to take the job from Deion Jackson and Zach Moss, right? Like, we know what they bring. They don't bring anything to the table. Evan Hull is a nice little sleeper option for sure late in the round. I like that pick a lot. Riley Patterson, Detroit Lions kicker. You're going to get a lot of action. Seattle defense plays the Rams week 1. Great pick there. I gave him a 6 and 8 roster at a C+, I believe. C+, yes. Okay. Moving on to 28 Express, who I ranked 11th. Okay. Again, this was a team with no keeper, which you'll find as a theme here with these teams I have at the bottom. It is a lot harder to draft without a keeper. Heading up to teams that do have a keeper, the strategy becomes a lot more than you think. And that's why I gave Jellyman so much credit for his draft, because his team looked really good without a keeper. So here we go. He had pick 102, took Jamar Chase before Justin Jefferson because Christian McCaffrey was taken first. Jalen Hurts, Mike Williams, James Conner, David Montgomery, Evan Ingram, Samaje Perine, Nico Collins, Kadarius Toney, Tyler Boyd, Jacoby Myers, Gerald Everett, Matt Stafford, DPJ, Jake Elliott, Baltimore. Okay, so let's go. Let me dive into this real quick. First pick or second pick, Jamar Chase. Can't go wrong. I love Jamar Chase. I think he's a triple crown winner this year. I think he's wide receiver 1. It is hard to take him over Jefferson, though. That's for sure. In round 2, took Jalen Hurts. This guy could carry you to the playoffs by himself, just like he did last year for 28 Express in 2022. Literally, this guy can backpack your whole team. Quarterback 1. Nothing to say there. This right here was very interesting to me. In round 3, jumped up about 30 spots for James Conner on a Cardinals team that is falling apart, fire sailing for next year. I don't know. I was so high on James Conner coming in, but I've dropped him down like to 80 on my board now because I don't know what the freaking Cardinals are doing, man. So that's a very risky pick. If he stays healthy 16 games and they don't trade him or bring up rookies or something, could be very valuable. In round 4, David Montgomery. It was probably a round early, but the running back panic was on in the draft. I do like David Montgomery's value. I don't know about round 4 value, but he should have been like 6 or 7. Maybe round 5 and a 14 man, but he will get the goal line touches. They updated that today. He will be the goal line running back. I just don't know how. I mean, I don't think. I look at it like this: like Jamal Williams got 17 touchdowns last year, right? With DeAndre Swift being the RB1. Now, I do know that David Montgomery is 5 times better than Jamal Williams, but I also know, that Jahmyr Gibbs is 5 times better than DeAndre Swift. So how much are you going to see of each, I don't know. I'll give him like 8 goal line teeters, maybe 7. I don't know, I'm around there somewhere. Round 5, he took Mike Williams. I mean, this guy every year is that guy that I'm like, if he just does it, he'll be a top 10 wide receiver, a top 15. If he just stays healthy. That's all this guy ever takes is just 1 year healthy, and he will do it. Evan Ingram, pick 6. This is one of my huge regression tight ends. I dropped Evan Ingram so far with the addition of Calvin Ridley. So everyone blew up on Evan Ingram last year. He went from tight end 15 to tight end 5 at the end of the season, right? So he was tight end 15 all the way to week 15 and then hit weeks 15, 16, 17 and dropped that 30, 20, 20, which tight ends never do, and had his massive run to top 5 in 3 games. That is something you cannot expect. There's no way. I think that was way too early on Evan Ingram. There was way better value to find around that time. Round 7, Nico Collins. jumped up about 15 spots for Nico Collins, but I was targeting Nico Collins also, so I have no problem with that. I think he will be the wide receiver one. I think he will get peppered with targets from CJ Stroud. If you've been watching the preseason, that's his go-to guy. I like to pick a little bit early, but I'm okay with it because I like Nico Collins too. Round 8, took Samaje Perine. Again, the running back panic. I mean, if you look at the roster right now, James Conner, David Montgomery, Perine, you're going to need a little more depth at running back. I do like Samaje Perine, especially with the injury to Javonte Williams. It'll probably be a 50-50 split for like 6-7 games of the year. And Sean Payton can produce 2 running backs with 1,000 yards all the time. This is a great value pick in round 8. In round 9, it's the scariest pick of the draft. I mean, this could be a home run or a dumpster sale, right? Or dumpster fire. I mean, Kadarius Toney has all the talent. He's never healthy. He's got the best quarterback in the league throwing to him. I mean, he was going like top 50, 60 before the injury. So you're getting him at a discount at 114. He is playing week 1. No Travis Kelce, like 90% no Travis Kelce. Maybe a starting play in your lineup, but it's so risky. I just don't know. I'm getting the hiccups at the worst time. At pick 10, Tyler Boyd, who he drafts every year for some reason. I guess if Jamar Chase got hurt, Tyler Boyd would be good value. I could see that if that was the play. Round 11, Jacoby Myers. I don't really like any Raiders. Round 12, Ravens defense, great pick. They get the Texans week 1, who the Texans just lost 2 linemen. The Baltimore defense is going to eat. Round 13, the kicker, Jake Elliott. Can't go wrong with any Eagles kicker. I mean, their offense moves at a potent pace. Round 14, Gerald Everett. Don't like that pick. Matt Stafford should be on the wire. Donovan Peoples-Jones at 16 could be okay value depending on how it plays out. I have to see Deshaun Watson, that offense, move first. But I gave it I believe, a C overall and a playoff fringe team. Like in the hunt, because Hurts will keep him there for sure. Hurts and Chase will do it by themselves. Heading on to Team 12. GW Enterprise. Daniel Jones, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Austin Eckler, Isaiah. That's another team with no keeper, which is why I said there's a theme going on. These bottom 3 teams that I ranked at the bottom weren't just, bad drafts, in my opinion. It is harder without a keeper, too. But you got Daniel Jones, Devonta Smith, T. Higgins, Eckler, Pacheco, Pat, Freiermuth, Lockett, Sutton, Gainwell, Purdy, Gallup, Ferguson, Wilson Jr., Daniel Carlson, Dallas D. Let me break into it here. GW Enterprise. First pick, Austin Eckler. 4th pick, can't go wrong there. Devonta Smith at 25th. I actually think Devonta Smith will outproduce A.J. Brown this year. It's just a weird gut feeling I have. 3rd pick, T. Higgins. One of the most overrated high-value wide receivers to me, flat out, because he only averages 8 points when 8.8 points when him and Jamar Chase are on the field. That is not 3rd-round wide receiver value. Yes, he averages 14 when Chase is gone, but that's like banking on an injury for a 3rd-round pick. I would have taken any running back, any DJ Moore, or anyone right here but T. Higgins. And round 4, Isaiah Pacheco. Jumped the gun about 50 spots here. So Isaiah Pacheco goes about 89 to 90 in all Yahoo drafts. He took him at 53. I don't know if that's like his favorite guy or what the deal is there. That's way, way too early for me. Tyler Lockett in round 5 at 60. He got great value, though, turning around in round 5. Tyler Lockett, I believe, was like 39 or 40 or 41. Got him at 60. He kept falling and falling. I don't know why. Great value there. I love Pat Freiermuth at tight end in round 6. Awesome value there. Now, Daniel Jones in round 7, I think this was a jump a little bit. Like you could have waited till round 8 or round 9. I mean, unless, you got this whole Danny Dimes going off thing, it could be good value here. But I feel like in a 14-man, you need to fill your roster more before you just get that QB position. But he went for DJ. Round 8, way too early for a defense. I don't do it till 14, 15. But Dallas D is a top D, so, I mean, there's something in that. Cortland Sutton, who will be the wide receiver 1 for probably 3-4 weeks, who I'm not a fan of, but it's good value at round 9. Kenneth Gainwell in round 10. I don't like any Eagles running backs this year unless three of them get injured and one guy's the guy. Round 11. Now, Daniel Carlson's such a good kicker, but he's on the wrong team, man. How many field goals the Raiders going to be kicking where they're not behind this year? And it's kind of early for me at the pick. I'm not a big fan of the 11th round pick of Daniel Carlson. In round 12, we took Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant himself. I think it's a good value pick. Could be his keeper next year at the way, or Daniel Jones could be his keeper next year at the way it's shaping up. Not a very good keeper draft either. Round 13, Michael Gallup will play wide receiver 3 fiddle. Not a fan. I do like the round 14 pickup of Jake Ferguson. He actually, if you remember how much the Dak Prescott would hit Dalton Schultz, this could be him. I know they drafted Schoonmaker too, who's been hurt through camp. We don't know. I think this is Ferguson's job to lose, and that's a great job to have. As you know, Dak loves to dump it off, but we got to wait and see. But I think it's good value at 193 for sure. In round 15, Jeff Wilson. Raheem Mostert gets hurt, it'll be AK, and he's already on the pup list. Round 16, Carolina D. See it like right here, like I'd already be dropping Carolina, or why would you take a top tier D to draft one later at the end? I don't know. I gave it a 5-9 record, C minus, I believe. Coming into the team I have ranked in 13th. This is dropping loads. No keeper again, so tougher drafts, obviously, like I said before. Like these bottom 3 teams, it's really a struggle in a 4-team out with no keeper. So you got the Kirk Cousins, Jefferson connection. Kirk Cousins, Jettas, George Pickens, Najee Harris, Aaron Jones, Dalton Kincaid, Zay Flowers, Zach Moss, Kamara, Jalen Warren, Jameson Williams, Derek Carr, Jawan Johnson, Jameer White, Jason Sanders, and the New York Jet D. Let me dive into it here now. Okay, so insane value at number 3, getting Justin Jefferson. Great pick, 100%. I mean, he goes number 1 in like 99% of the league, so you can't be mad about getting him a 3rd. Hitting round 2 with Najee Harris. I do like that he has the Jalen Warren backup here, but and especially like their week 1, or like their first 8 games is freaking brutal, man. I mean, I like Najee a lot. He's a year removed from the Liz Frank of last year, and he was good down the stretch. He was getting healthy. Jalen Warren is coming, though, which is very scary, but he does have him as a handcuff, but I think that's too high. Like, there was better value there than Najee Harris. In round 3, Aaron Jones, great pick. I mean, amazing pick right here. The Packers have the number 1 easiest run schedule. They will lean on Aaron Jones and Dylan Moore now that A-Rod is gone. I definitely believe that. Their defense has gotten better. They'll give them the ball back more than normal. This is a great value. Like, I would have rather have Aaron Jones than Najee Harris. Like, this is like what I'm saying, if you know what I mean. 31-26. In round 4, I don't know what happened here. Alvin Kamara's ADP is like 120. He took him about 6 to 7 rounds early on a 3-game suspension, when Alvin Kamara's snap share the past 2 years has dropped to 64%. They're fading away. They draft Kendre Miller. They signed Jamal Williams. I mean, all the writing is on the wall. Alvin Kamara should never go in round 4. And then in round 5, another mistake that I was talking about with Fry Guy's team, right? So you draft Najee Harris and George Pickens. Like, you don't want I like George Pickens a lot. I like Najee Harris. You don't want 2-star connects to be your running back wide receiver. You want that to be quarterback, running back, quarterback, wide receiver. So this is another, he'll have a bye problem here in week 6 with them. I mean, I like Pickens so much, but it's hard to, I don't want 2 Steelers on my team, Round 6, he jumped up about 30. What is Zay Flowers at? 116, so about 34 spots. I was targeting Zay Flowers around 7, so he probably knew he knew that we all were, but it wasn't the keeper round, right? So, you drafted him for no keeper ability, which he probably, so you have the 87th pick right here, which would have beat us or would have beat me or most people by it. You could have flipped. Kirk Cousins is not going anywhere. You could have flipped Zay Flowers into your keeper spot at round 7 right here for Kirk Cousins, and then you would have had a great play for next year. At 8th round, Dalton Kincaid. He's this guy that I'm on the fence with. Like, most people say he's a cheat code tight end and he's going to be playing the slot, and he's going to, I have him in a couple leagues, but it's so hard for me to put out a rookie tight end for a season. It's just, nerve-wracking, man. I know you get the Monday night game to open up with the Jets, and that's tight. You get to watch it on Monday Night Football. I don't know about round 8. I would say round 10 value, but I like Kincaid and I don't like Kincaid. It's like one of those tough ones. I like the Jalen Warren handcuff in round 9, Jets D in round 10, Jamison Williams keeper option, another 6-game suspension. I mean, Jamison Williams is on the wire in a couple of my leagues that are all 12-man competitive. 12 round Derek Carr, great keeper value here. I do think the Saints ball out a lot. I mean, they're gonna. I might even start him over Cousins some week. They have a lot of weapons. Round 13, Zach Moss back at practice today. He'll be rotating with Evan Hull and Deion Jackson for about 3 weeks. I mean, not a bad pick. Good value if he gets the starting nod. Round 14, great value with Jawan Johnson here. I'm not buying the Jimmy Graham. This Jawan Johnson will see 6-7. He's a great, 6-7 touchdowns, great red zone threat. Now this pick right here is one of the best picks of his team. Round 15, that's my hiccups are killing me. It's Zamir White, who we all know that Josh Jacobs is on a 1-year contract, and it does not look like he liked the Raiders, and it looks like everyone wants out on the Raiders. Like, I'm pretty sure you'll see Devonte Adams traded by week 7 at this rate. So in that case, if you can hold Zamir White to the next season, great keeper option, 100% right there. And Jason Sanders, the kicker. But I don't see that team very, competitive in my eyes. I gave it a C- and a 5-9 record. Now this one here is the biggest trip to me of all. This is the last one. I ranked it last, and Yahoo ranked it first, by the way, or not first, but A+. Look at that, right there at the top. A+ for the gross. See if you can move up right there. Number 1 draft, but look at this team. Okay, make this make sense to me. And every team I've looked at on Yahoo, when I see draft grades, anyone with Patrick Mahomes is like an instant A, which blows my mind. But yes, I know he's great and could be the GOAT when he's done. But look at this team for a second. Patrick Mahomes, Cooper Kupp, DK Metcalf, Dalvin Cook, Rashad Penny, George Kittle, Treylon Burks, Damian Harris, Foreman, Lazard, Deuce Vaughn, Taysom Hill, Bryce Young, Justin Tucker, Niner D, Tampa Bay. Okay. That is the A+ draft. Let me break into this now. Okay. I swear Yahoo doesn't factor in like anything. Like I don't understand. Just you see Mahomes, A. That's what they do. So with the 7th pick in the first round, he took Patrick Mahomes, he goes about 19th to 20th. So that's about a round early. Could have had depth at running back or wide receiver right here. With the 22nd pick, took the most dangerous pick in the draft of Cooper Kupp, who's now missing week 1 and threatening IR. He probably missed 4 games. If the Rams fall behind early in the season, like, is he going to play? Will he be traded? He's a vet. He's definitely not playing down the fantasy stretch. I hate that pick. 3rd round, DK Metcalf, great value. He saw like 27 red zone targets, like the second most, or what, 23 or 24 last year, like the second most for a wide receiver. Great value pick here. Kittle in round 4, I liked a lot until I saw that he's probably going to miss week 1, which does, hurt your opening day, but Kittle's still amazing value. Him and Purdy averaged like 16.5 per game when they played. Purdy loves to target him. Great value here. 63, Dalvin Cook. He was about 90. But again, the running backs were going like absolute hotcakes. So, I mean, he had no choice but to take Dalvin Cook here. This was incredible right here. Niner D at 7, Niner D at 6, 78th pick, and Justin Tucker at 7th. That is inadvisable in any league you're ever in. You're giving up your first keeper option right here in round 7, and you're giving up just amazing depth. Like, just look across the board right here. Raheem Mostert, Jordan Addison, Gabe Davis, Zach Charbonnet. Like, for a defense and a kicker, that's not ever recommended. Round 8, Rashad Penny, dark horse throw, but he needed running backs right here, so he just went on a tangent of all the backups he could get, because that's what happened. So Rashad Penny in the 8th, Damian Harris in the 9th. Not bad. Treylon Burks, great keeper option here in round 10. If you think about it, we don't know, DeAndre Hopkins getting old. He might win out. I don't know what's going on there. Round 11, Deontay Foreman is droppable. Round 12, Alan Lazard. Absolutely decent value pick here. I mean, he could be a flex play any week. He could pop a touchdown here and there. He has great rapport with Aaron Rodgers. Deuce Vaughn, the spin cycle highlight preseason, MJD 2.0. I don't know. I don't buy it, but the hype does, and they like seeing videos of him, I guess. But I don't think he's that great of a pick. Taysom Hill in round 14, gadget player. I mean, good best ball play, but not a redraft play. Round 15, Bryce Young, great keeper option, especially heading into next year. And then once again, took a defense in round 6, and then took another one in round 16. Just inadvisable, but they gave him an A+, and I gave it a 3 and 11 D. I mean, who is gonna be like starting for this team? I don't understand how this is an A+ team. I mean, Mahomes, yes. Cup, no. Metcalf, yes. Dalvin Cook, 1A, 1B. Rashad Penny, 4 1As. George Kittle hurt week 1. Treylon Burks, wide receiver 2. And all the rest, that's Yahoo's lost in the sauce, man. I don't understand. But that's it for me, guys. That's the whole ranking video. As always, if you guys like the content, like and subscribe. I'll be dropping content all year. This was my first ever draft ranking my league draft of 14-man, $500 0.5 PPR. It's always fun. I can't wait to hear my friends' reactions to this. Oh yeah, you're number one because it's your team. My team's damn good, bro. And the key to I'll throw you at the end here is if you play 14-man, it is depth, depth, depth. All right, y'all. Have a good one. I'm out.